Hey everybody, how you doing? Bill Colarulo. Today we're joined by critical case paralegal Jodi Corrus. We wanted to talk a little bit about traumatic brain injuries. The more we learn, the more research that's done, we understand the devastating effects that these injuries can have on people's lives. Jodi is a critical case paralegal. She handles a lot of cases of this nature. Now, we're obviously not doctors or a law firm. How can we help someone who's sustained a traumatic brain injury in a fall or a car accident or something along those lines?
So we can connect them with medical providers in their area that specialize in these types of injuries.
Yeah, and it seems like every month more and more research is coming out with regard to how much of an impact this can have on people's lives. You know, are there concussion specialists and traumatic brain injury specialists that people can see to try to get help?
There are. I mean, generally people would start with a neurologist to make sure there's not some type of, physical problem in their brain other than the normal concussion symptoms or TBI that's been previously diagnosed. There's also all kinds of resources. There's the Brain Injury Association of New Jersey, Brain Injury Association of America. There's all kinds of local support groups. There's a support group in Burlington, Camden County that meets. So there's a lot you can do. You can connect with other people that have similar injuries.
So if someone sustains a traumatic brain injury and it's the fault of someone else, whether through a car accident or nursing home neglect or a slip and fall, what makes those types of cases so complex from a legal perspective?
It's proving the damages. It's treatment and economic damages moving forward. So with regard to treatment, it's not an injury you can see. It's not visible on the outside. And it's not always visible on testing that you have done either. Concussions aren't always visible. There isn't one test that proves you have it. So it's getting connected with the right people to prove the damages.
And when you mention economic loss, could that also include future medical treatment that they may need for their traumatic brain injury?
Yeah, absolutely. Speaking from my own personal experience, I was in treatment for 6 straight years for my traumatic brain injury.
And what I've seen over the years too is it's difficult for the doctors to even give a prognosis as to when this person may or may not heal from this particular injury. Have you experienced that in the past?
I have. Sometimes people don't heal from these injuries and they learn to adapt and change their life because of it.
So a lot of times when we're dealing with traumatic brain injuries, people not only need medical treatment in the immediate future, they may need medical treatment for an extended period of time, even for the rest of their lives. As lawyers, when we are seeking damages against the other responsible party, how do we prove what treatment they need and how much that treatment's going to cost?
We prove the treatment they need by hiring medical experts. Those medical experts will review their records, their treatment, they'll examine them, get a history, and we'll prove the damages going forward with a life care planner.
And what exactly is a life care planner?
A life care planner puts together a plan that shows what your life looks like treatment-wise going forward. Medications, support, therapy, physician's examinations.
And they'll actually put a dollar amount on what that future treatment is?
They will.
And we'll seek that in our lawsuit against the responsible party?
Yes.
What about a person's occupation? If someone sustains a traumatic brain injury, as lawyers, how do we, one, determine whether or not they can return to work? And then if not, how do we quantify what their lost wages may be into the future?
We rely on the medical doctors to determine if they have the ability to return to work and in what capacity they have the ability to return to work. And then if they have a restricted return to work or they can no longer do the job they once did or can no longer do any job at all, we hire experts such as economists and vocational experts to quantify that loss.
Jodi, thank you so much. This is extremely important information. And to our viewers out there, if you or someone else has been the victim of a traumatic brain injury, it's important to contact an attorney for various reasons. But most importantly, we want to make sure that you're able to get the medical treatment that you need to try to get better. And if you're out of work because of your brain injury, you may be entitled to lost wages, both past wages and going forward into the future. If you found this information valuable, be sure to follow on whatever page you're watching. We're going to keep the content coming because at Grungo Colarulo, if we can help, we will.